Hi everybody, Quynhforthewin here, and I am here to vulnerably share myself in a very raw way as I am taking this opportunity to process my emotions, as there was a big trigger today where I felt sad, I felt mad and frustrated. Sad, hurt, and frustrated. That's how I will narrow down these emotions. And something happened today where I was on my way to my partner's place to record a podcast, record something, right? Like this is what we do. We get together, we create content. As you can see, we've been creating podcasts, we've been creating a 30-day journal, self-love course. Anyway, a bunch of different factors created this experience where communication was kind of being missed, as a friend of his appeared up kind of like surprisingly when I was communicating that I was on the way. And he mentioned wait 10 minutes because his friend had stopped by. So I wait 10 minutes and then I leave. I messaged that I was on the way. There was no, wait, hold on. Was there a response? Yeah, there was no response. And I was communicating, is there enough time? Because I have a client at a certain time, which was like within the next hour. Usually when we record something, we need at least 30 minutes. So there was some time. But I get there, they're hanging out, and I say hi, and I mentioned I was going to get ready to set up. And so I wait, and the time is just passing to a point where there's just no way we didn't have any more time to record because my session with my client was coming up. And so I sat there. I started feeling very triggered. I started to get really frustrated, and I could feel myself getting like really boiled. And I said, okay, I am waiting. I drove over here. You asked me to wait. Here I am waiting again. And so I just knew that it was better for me to leave. One, I wasn't feeling good. Two, it's just better to take my client calls at home, and so that I can just go straight to dinner, eat with my parents. And, it was getting later. So I was just so upset that, what was being communicated and what was planned didn't happen. So I leave kind of very cold, short, that I would text him later. And he was asking me what time it was, and I was so upset. I don't believe I even answered that. Anyway, so I leave. I don't even make eye contact. I mean, you all have been there where you're just pissed. And so, I go home. I make it comfortable here. I was lighting up some candles, taking a deep breath, getting myself, centered for this client call. And of course, time passes by, some good vibes on the client call. And I felt better. I wasn't as pissed off, and I didn't feel like it was that big of a deal, but I knew that a lot of emotions came up in that. I was so pissed. And by the way, I use my self-love practices right when I was driving home. I turned on the voice recorder, and I could hear myself feeling so hurt. So I went from feeling pissed off to hurt. And I processed how this trigger led to something about the past, right? So when we're feeling pissed and when we're feeling triggered, it means that whatever it is that you're going through, it is triggering something that happened in the past that hasn't been fully processed yet. And so, this is the first time I ever experienced this with my partner today. And so, anyways, great client call. And he was texting me some things, and for me to text him after when my call was done. And I tell them I would rather call. So I call. And anyways, long story short, I thought I was okay talking to him. But as I was like, we were talking about what emotions came up and like, what I wanted to share and what did I need from him. It was totally not in order, and so it just all got all jumbled up. It felt like we were going around in circles. Who has been there before? Going in circles about something that happened with you and your partner. So emotions came up, and I was just getting re-triggered again, where I felt like I wasn't being heard and I wasn't communicating clearly. So then he's getting frustrated, or like, and he's just being very firm, and I'm getting re-triggered. So everybody that is listening to this, when we can recognize that there's like a lot of emotions coming up, know that it's going to be very tricky communicating and being very so clear with your communication, like to your partner. That's just how it's going to be. So, it's hard getting off the phone when you're emotional and your partner's hearing that you're emotional, and it's hard to leave like that. But I knew that I needed alone time, because it was very apparent that this was bringing up old memories, and how so much came up through like one boo-boo, right? Like one miscommunication, and all these things being missed, and other factors like that was there that didn't allow us to move forward with what we had planned. So, yeah, and then oh my gosh, the fire alarm went off because of my candles. They were underneath something, and it started to like kind of create this smoke. And so, and I just took that as a sign. Yep, that got us off the call. And here I am with you, sharing with you very openly and very rawly about how I'm choosing to process my emotions, and how when you're on the self-love journey, it creates space for you to be at least more on the aware side than the reactive side, right? I saw myself getting triggered, and I would just pause, breathe, let him speak. And then when it was my turn to speak, I made sure that I said things as like clear as possible. So yeah, this revealed in the past how I felt like I didn't matter a lot. Like there would be plans being made, and when these plans weren't really cared for, or like for an example, there's one memory that stands out really loudly where with my past partner, we had planned to go somewhere on a trip that required packing. We were going to drive, I believe it was Southern California. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was Southern California. And I remember communicating with my past partner that I was coming over and to make sure to pack, and I communicated everything. And then that night when it was time to leave, I came over, and my partner had nothing packed, like zero things packed, and I could feel the madness, the frustration, and also the hurt. And when I experienced that, I translated to, wow, he did not care about us spending time together. He did not care about me, and just about our trip, meaning he didn't care about our relationship, right? And the word that's coming up for me also is like invisible. I felt invisible. Like everything, all the communication just didn't matter, just went to the wayside. And we would get into this argument, and he would say things like, okay, fuck it, I don't even want to go anymore, like just go home. And so that whole experience just really hurt. And that's the memory that came up. The emotions that I felt tonight matched that experience right there. So long story short, like what I wanted to share with you tonight is how the self-love practices that you've been doing consistently, it will definitely have you be more in the awareness area, and being open to go into your self-love practice to release, so that you can process. And with me, obviously, the main goal here is recognizing that every single time when you're triggered, when you're frustrated, when you're mad, go to your self-love practice, start expressing, and understand why this trigger is here and where is it coming from. Where in the past have you experienced something similar that matches these emotions? And it will make a lot of sense. And to be grateful that this is coming up, because it's revealing to you what's another area that you've been really hurt. And it took this experience to bring that up. And me and my partner, we've created the 30-day journal to do that for ourselves, to have us recall moments. And because we have experienced so much, there's always going to be opportunities where life gives you the journal prompts. Like life will create a situation so that you can get it out. You can recognize, oh yeah, here's another opportunity to heal. And so with that said, let's make sure we get in our self-love practices so that when we do get triggered with something that reveals a heavy pain from the past, we will at least know where we need to go, because we've been really used to going to the self-love practice, especially when we're not feeling good. And that can save you from further heartbreak. That can save you from like arguing more. It can save your relationships with your family, with your significant other, because there is growth involved in this. To get better with anything, to iron out anything, to create peace, close the gap between something. Like right now, I am choosing to do self-love, and I'm choosing to share, like express and use video recording as a tool. And I'm going to do some journaling here as well to make sure that it's like all out, so that when I do speak or when I do spend time with my partner, I am not bringing on more of my past triggers like to this, right? And so, yeah, with that said, I am on this journey. I'm committed to this journey, and I'm committed to supporting you where you can heal from your codependency. You can heal from all the times that you felt unworthy, heal from the times where perhaps you grew up with parents that, of course, they were doing their best. However, it did cause a lot of pain, a lot of false beliefs. And that's what you're battling with right now. Like, I can relate to all of that. So here to cheer you on. And as always, yeah, I will see you next time. Thanks for listening. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you later. Bye.